So how do you say someone comes in with ADD or ADHD? Because I feel like it's so common and often diagnosed, but then also here's a prescription for it. There you go.
Right.
So what would you guys do to counteract that? Like what?
Yes. So the first thing is we educate on what ADHD actually is, because a lot of people think that that's an overactive brain, which is more anxiety. What ADHD actually is a underregulated brain and a slow-moving brain in a certain location, which is why they would give a stimulant. But the problem is, if you have a child or an adult that has anxiety or feels like they're anxious, you stimulate one part of the brain with the drug, but you have to stimulate all parts of the brain. So now we have an overstimulated brain in one area feeling more anxious. They're not eating. We're causing all of these. We're not sleeping correctly, so we're not getting into those restorative brain waves in what we call delta. You can't, with meds, because it goes through the metabolic system, you cannot affect different brain waves in a different way. You just either bring everything up or bring everything down. Well, neurofeedback is we can isolate certain brain waves and adjust them based on and stimulate them or inhibit them based on what they are needed. So first we identify what the problem is, and then we can go and with the technology that we use actually affect each brainwave and isolate that so that we're helping all parts of the brain instead of just bringing it all up or all down. Because as we know, we can't do it's not so easy. It's not one thing that you bring all up or all down.
So describe the treatment.
The treatment is absolutely wonderful. So everyone in all of our centers is a client first. So we all speak from personal experience. That's very important to me to be able to say that, because people ask that, what do you do? Right. Well, you come in and you sit in a recliner. It's very comfortable, and you're watching a TV show. You're watching a Netflix show or a Disney Plus.
Show?
You get to pick the show.
Oh,
right? I know, it's like 30 minutes of forced TV time.
Wow.
And the irony is
Hello, Yellowstone.
Yes, exactly.
The irony is that a lot of things were probably caused by screens for our kids, especially, but this is how we address it. Well, and the reason we're using the screen is it's just keeping someomes contact or their gaze on
keeping them focused.
Because all the feedback is coming through what's coming through the TV. So the brain is quite literally being trained based on the Pavlovian and operant conditioning that's coming from the TV. So it's a series of rewards or redirects based on what they're getting. So if the brainwaves are traveling in good organized patterns and there's sensors on the head reading that, then the brightness is high and the sound is high, giving an immediate reward to the brain saying that this is a good pattern, let's keep it in this pattern and organization. If the brightness goes down and the sound goes down, it's an immediate redirect for the brain that we need to create new neuroplasticity through this area. So over a minimum of 30 sessions and 30 minutes of each session, the brain is quite literally being retrained into better organized patterns of operation.
Wow. God,
are you connected to something?
You're connected.
Yeah, exactly.
You have sensors in whatever part. There's 6 different zones of the brain that we will put sensors on. So we put the sensors, nothing goes into the brain. It's just reading the brainwave activity, sending it through the computer, and then the program is then helping the TV respond to what's going on as far as the brain. So the brain is quite literally determining what's going on the TV. So
oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. It's a very interesting process.
So you come in for this treatment and you sit for 30 minutes and you watch Yellowstone.
Yes.
In your TV show, your treatment time is done. Do you just go back to the classroom or to work? I mean, kids shouldn't be watching. So there's no downtime, is what I'm asking.
Correct. Yeah. So we ask people that they come in twice a week. So it's just like going to the gym. If you come in once in a while, yeah, that's fine. But we're, the brain's a muscle, and we're breaking down that muscle and training it to do a different pattern of operations. So the more touches on the ball, so to speak, the better that we see and the faster progress happens.
So 30 treatments is what's recommended. And then, so you go through the 30 treatments over, I guess, 15 weeks.
Right.
What happens then?
So we then we will look, there's 2 additional read maps. So by the time you're done with what we call a protocol, you have 3 maps that we are able to compare. So we're watching how the brain is healing. We're watching all of the objective data that we're seeing throughout the sessions. So it's very data-driven, very science-driven. But then at the end of that 3rd map, we look and we say, okay, is inflammation gone? What's our symptomology here? Are we seeing that we have made the progress that we want to make? About 60 to 70% of our clients will stay for another round, just because it starts to become habit for them and they want to stay and keep going. That's not the goal of neurofeedback, though. Neurofeedback is a very drop in the bucket type of therapy. It's not meant to be forever. It's supposed to be to get the brain regulated and then get you on to any other modalities that you might want to do. We just ask that people come back every year and remap, because we say neurofeedback may not be for everyone, but the brain map is for everyone. Everyone should know how their brain is functioning and what's going on and if there's any inflammation, so we can keep an eye on it. We do that with every other part of our body, so why don't we do it with our brain?